So we all experience stress, and there are two ways that we can cope with the stress that we're dealing with every day because we have so much on our plates. So, in one way, we can do self-sabotaging behaviors, such as eating too much, drinking too much when we're trying to lose weight or stay healthy, skipping workouts, again, when we're trying to stay healthy and fit, doing retail therapy when we're trying to save money. So we have all these ways of coping with our stress that can actually sabotage us in the long run. Or we can do self-care habits such as exercise, eating well, hydrating, breathing, those sorts of activities that will help us in the long run. So today I want to show you how you can actually recover from stress that is going to be simple and easy and help you in the long run. So first up, I want to discuss the difference between a stressor and experiencing stress. So a stressor is that external thing that's happening. It's the thing that is causing you stress. So that could be just completely overwhelmed with the amount of work you have to do. It could be that you are up against a tight deadline and that's giving you stress. So that tight deadline is the stressor. So there's all these external things happening, and then we experience the stress. So stress is that physical response that we get. So it's more of an internal response. So when we have that stressor, we experience the stress, and everyone feels that a little differently. So start paying attention to what's going on in your body to know what happens when you are stressed out. Maybe your heart races. Maybe you just feel off, like maybe you're irritable. So just pay attention to what's going on when you experience stress. So we can recover if we complete a cycle. So what we need to do when we experience a stressor and then we experience stress is to start recovering. And what we want to do is we want to bypass self-sabotage and go straight into recovery. And self-care habits fall under recovery. As you can see from this cycle, we experience the stressor, experience stress, and we do a coping behavior. Coping behaviors are things like overeating, getting drunk, procrastinating, those sorts of things that are self-sabotaging. So we want to bypass this step in the cycle of coping behaviors. And what we want to do is when we experience that stress is move into recovery. And recovery means that we're processing the stress. So it doesn't mean that we are dealing with the stressor, because a lot of times we think, well, that deadline at work that I was up against has passed and I've dealt with the stressor, right? Like that stress is over with. And really that was something external. It was something that happened and it's gone. But if you didn't do anything to manage the stress that was getting built up in your body internally, then that stress is still sitting there. So when I talk about recovery and completing this cycle, recovery means getting the stress out of our system. And the way we do that is through several, again, self-care habits. So we can exercise, we can just move our bodies, we can laugh, we can, snuggle with our favorite person or even a pet. Crying does count as a self-care habit and a great way to recover from a stressful event and reset your nervous system. Other things can be any type of creative expression, so singing, dancing, writing, painting, those sorts of things. So when we talk about completing our stress recovery cycle, really what we want is it to look like this. So we experience the stressor, we experience the stress, and then we don't do something that's self-sabotaging, we just recover. Okay, so we want our stress recovery cycle to look like this. Leading our stress cycle with that recovery can be super simple and easy. And if you can do something proactively, like getting ahead of your stress and keeping your nervous system on a more baseline level, exercise is a great way to do that. However, if you've had a super stressful day and it's the end of the day and you just need like a quick something or other to help you, like just flush all that out so you can sleep better at night so that you're not irritable with your family, that the best thing as far as physical activity is to take a walk. Just, it doesn't even have to be that long. It can just be a walk around the block, take your dog, just go for 10 minutes. But that physical movement is a super great way to complete your stress cycle and recover. That's if you've had like, if you're on a scale of 1 to 10 where your stress is super high, like you're at 10, movement generally helps the best with those. Now, if you're not at a 10, you can try breathing. So breathing can help if you just need something that's a little less intense, like if you haven't had a 10 type of day, but you just want something to kind of calm you down and recover, breathing is a great option. And it doesn't have to be long and involved. It can literally just be 5 deep breaths, focusing on breathing into your belly and not your chest. Chest breathing can amp up our system, so we want to focus on belly breaths. So simply putting your hand on your belly button and feeling the breath go in and out of your belly will reset your nervous system. Now, another option is laughter, and this is where I do say that social media can be a great place. Because if you follow accounts that are just silly dog videos or something that makes you happy, like watching, like maybe it's people dancing, something that's going to help you feel good and just relax your system, social media can be great for that. But laughing, if you find a joke and you text it to someone, it can be as simple as that. Affection is another great way to complete your stress recovery cycle. And that can be anything from snuggling with your pet, just petting your pet for a couple minutes, 2 minutes at the most, to cuddling with a blanket, having a weighted blanket, or even just cuddling with a human or a stuffed animal. So any of those ways that you can just get those good hormones going will be a great way to recover. Now, crying does amazing things as well as far as resetting your system. I know it can feel vulnerable to cry sometimes, but you've probably experienced this where you actually do feel better after a good cry. Like your system does feel calmer after you've cried. So allow yourself to be that vulnerable, and it will help reset your system so that you are ready to tackle the next thing. And the last idea I have for you for recovery in this stress response cycle is creative expression. Again, so you can sing your favorite song, you can dance to your favorite song, you can just write down what's on your mind, like literally make a list of everything that annoyed you that day. Just write it all down and then tear it all up. So those are 6 easy, simple ways that you can complete your stress recovery cycle and actually get that stress out of your system so you feel better, so that you can be prepared for the next day, what's coming. So I have a self-care summer program if you would like to start working on these self-care habits that I've mentioned. And it starts June 1st. It runs all summer, June through August 2025. And we'll be working on getting those habits cemented so that you are staying proactive and have that easily incorporated into your schedule as opposed to adding more to your plate. So if you are interested in that program, it is all online and you can check out the details below. See you in the next video.